Hi guys, welcome back to Loggery. How are you all doing? I hope all of you are doing great, fine, and you are safe. Today we are going to discuss about NLSAT 2022 sample papers. We're going to do a detailed analysis. Now, when I say detailed, it is going to be legit detail. We're going to go into each and everything. You might find that this video is a little repetitive, but to understand the syllabus, to understand the topics that we have to cover and how we have to prepare for the exam, we need to have a look at what NLSIU people have told us, what they have already told us, and what new they are telling us. So it is really important to combine both of them. So yeah, please watch the video completely, make notes. It is going to help you. NLSAT, is NLSIU Bangalore's 3-year law entrance exam. So yeah, in this video we are going to discuss about the new guidelines. We are also going to discuss about the syllabus, if it is same, what are the changes, how to prepare is number one thing that we are going to talk about. How to prepare for different sections, how to prepare for part A, part B, which is subjective, how to prepare for that. Then we are going to discuss which are the topics that can be said to be sure shot, what is the pattern of the exam. We are going to discuss all of this. We are going to discuss about the books, the resources that you have to go for, how to prepare for the writing part, which is most of you are concerned. So we're going to discuss about everything. Let's get started with this video. Yeah guys, welcome to Loggery. I hope you're subscribed to Loggery's YouTube channel and hit that bell notification so that you do not miss any of our videos. And I hope you're following us on Instagram. We're there by the name at I am Loggery. We do pretty motivational stuff out there. If you want to stay happy, if you want to stay motivated, and if you want to stay connected a little more with Loggery, then do follow us on Instagram. Now, it is again important what they have told us already is that the written test shall be of 140 marks. So 140 marks ka aapka pura ka pura, the exam is going to be of 140 marks, out of which 75 marks is for MCQs type of questions and 65 marks is for subjective, right? Please make notes if you haven't already. Very important to understand the exam, right? And your interview is going to be of 10 marks, right? Interview is of 10 marks. If you get selected, you will give your interview, and that is for 10 marks. Fine. Now, NLSAT, all candidates seeking admission to the program shall appear for the NLSAT. The NLSAT will have a single question paper comprising of two parts, A and B. So there would be a single question paper which will have two parts, that is part A, and then there is part B. Right, all candidates shall be required to attempt both the parts of the question paper. The examination shall be for the duration of 150 minutes, which is a good time to go through the paper. 150 minutes are going to be there duration, so you need to remember this as well. Okay, now they're going to tell us about part A. Let's quickly go through it. Part A will consist of multiple choice questions and shall be for a maximum of 75 marks. 0.25 marks shall be deducted for every wrong answer. So we get to know one more thing, that 0.25 marks minus होंगे, deduct होंगे, though there is negative marking in this part of the exam. This is our part A and this is our part B. Part A is of 75 marks, MCQ type of questions are going to be there. Part B is of 65 marks, subjective, right? Part A will constitute the first stage of the admission process. Very important, please. A merit list of candidates will be prepared based on their performance in Part A. So Part A is the first stage of the examination. So a merit list will be prepared after checking your Part A, and out of that, how many student candidates shall be selected in a ratio of 1:5. So part A for us is equally important, because if we get qualified, then only, that is 5 candidates per seat will qualify for part B of the examination. Marks secured in part A shall not be carried over to the rest of the admission process. So we can say that part A is equally important, because if we do well in part A, then only we'll go for part B. But part B is also important because part A shall not be carried over to the rest of the admission process. इसका काम यहीं पे खत्म हो जाएगा कि इसने आपकी पार्ट बी की चेकिंग करवा दी, ठीक है ना? तो पार्ट बी के मार्क्स जो हैं वो आपको हेल्प करते हैं. अब आगे पढ़ते हैं. पार्ट बी शैल कंसिस्ट ऑफ सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस व्हिच शैल बी ऑफ अ मैक्सिमम ऑफ 65 marks. A fresh merit list will be prepared. Based on performance in part B of the NLSAT exam, candidates will be selected in ratio of 1:2.5 per seat for the interview. ठीक है ना, तो पार्ट बी के बेसिस पे आपकी जो मेरिट लिस्ट है वो बनेगी एंड उसके बेसिस पे आप इंटरव्यू के लिए सिलेक्ट होगे एंड फिर आपका इंटरव्यू होगा. तो हर पार्ट की अपनी ही इंपॉर्टेंस है. ओके, पार्ट ए देखिए, पार्ट ए क्या है, एप्लीकेंट्स विल बी टेस्टेड ऑन द फॉलोइंग इन द ऑब्जेक्टिव टेस्ट. तो हमारा पार्ट ए जो है वो एमसीक्यू टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आने हैं हमारे और 75 मार्क्स का हमारा ये पार्ट है. ठीक है ना, इसके अंदर इंग्लिश कॉम्प्रिहेंशन है 25 मार्क्स का, करंट अफेयर्स है 25 मार्क्स के, क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग इंक्लूडिंग लॉजिकल रीजनिंग एंड लीगल एप्टीट्यूड है हमारी 25 मार्क्स की. तो इस एग्जाम में देयर इज नो मैथ्स. ठीक है ना, कोई मैथ्स नहीं है हमारा इस वाले एग्जाम में. ठीक है, तो ये हमारे लिए 3 सब्जेक्ट्स हैं जो हमें अच्छे से करने हैं. अब आगे समझते हैं कि सैंपल पेपर्स में हमें क्या पता चल रहा है इस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में. NLSAT के पार्ट ए के बारे में, फॉर्मेट एंड इंस्ट्रक्शंस. फॉर्मेट, Part A of NLSAT 2022 will comprise between 8 and 10 general comprehension passages. क्या पता चलता है हमें? नंबर 1 पॉइंट, पैसेजेस होंगे हमारे पार्ट ए के अंदर. पैसेजेस होंगे मतलब ये कैसा पैटर्न है, जैसे क्लैट का पैटर्न है कि पैसेजेस होंगे. ठीक है ना, ये पता चलता है पैसेज टाइप ऑफ फॉर्मेट है. ठीक है ना, पैसेज फॉलोड बाय क्वेश्चंस, राइट. अब each GC passage will be accompanied by MCQ questions that candidate will answer based on the information provided in the question paper. ठीक है ना, information provided in the question paper उसके basis पे हमें answer करना है. ठीक है, Part A of NLSAT 2022 will have a total of 75 questions. ये हमें पता है MCQ है, ये तो हमें already पता है, और 75 marks का है. ठीक है, यहाँ पे हमें ये याद रखना है 8 to 10 passages हमारे होंगे. 8 to 10 passages. GC passage will be approximately of 500 words. 500 words का हमारा passage होगा approximately. The questions will combine elements from each of the 3 subjects, that is English, comprehension, current affairs and critical reasoning including logical reasoning and legal aptitude. तो मतलब क्या है कि एक पैसेज है, देख लीजिए ये A पैसेज है. ठीक है ना, तो ये A पैसेज के बाद जो क्वेश्चंस होंगे आपके 1 से 10 तक या जितने भी क्वेश्चंस होंगे आपके, ठीक है, मान लीजिए एक पैसेज है, ये फर्स्ट पैसेज है. ठीक है, इसके बाद 10 क्वेश्चंस आपके हैं. तो ये 10 क्वेश्चंस वो कह रहे हैं कि वो किसी के वो इंग्लिश से भी हो सकते हैं, वो इंग्लिश कॉम्प्रिहेंशन मतलब एक ही पैसेज में से जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं वो डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट्स में से हो सकते हैं. ठीक है ना, जैसे क्लैट के अंदर तो क्या है, इंग्लिश का सेक्शन स्टार्ट हो गया तो रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का पैसेज आएगा, फिर इंग्लिश के क्वेश्चन चलेंगे. यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है, ये जो 1 to 10 क्वेश्चन होंगे ये मिक्स्ड सब्जेक्ट्स में से होंगे आपके. वो सब्जेक्ट्स कौन से हैं वो इन्होंने हमें बता दिए हैं कि वो सब्जेक्ट्स आपके हैं इंग्लिश कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, करंट अफेयर्स, क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग इंक्लूडिंग लॉजिकल रीजनिंग एंड लीगल एप्टीट्यूड. ठीक है ना, अब पार्ट ए ऑफ NLSAT 2022 शैल इंक्लूड 25 क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम ईच सब्जेक्ट. वो कह रहे हैं कि 25 क्वेश्चंस, तो हमें इससे हमारी मार्क्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन भी पता चल जाती है कि जो हमारा इंग्लिश है वो 25 मार्क्स का. ठीक है ना, जो हमारा करंट अफेयर्स है वो 25 मार्क्स का, जो हमारी क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग प्लस लीगल रीजनिंग प्लस लॉजिकल रीजनिंग जो है वो भी 25 मार्क्स की. तो हमें ये इंपॉर्टेंस बता गए कि 25 मार्क्स का है. ठीक है, ओके. उसके बाद ईच MCQ कैरीज 1 मार्क. कैंडिडेट विल रिसीव 1 मार्क फॉर ईच करेक्ट आंसर. ठीक है ना, हर एक 1 मार्क इज इक्वल टू 1 करेक्ट आंसर. ठीक है ना, 1 मार्क मिलेगा एक करेक्ट आंसर के लिए. अब कैंडिडेट्स विल रिसीव -0.25. डिडक्ट होंगे कितने मार्क्स? -0.5 मार्क्स. नेगेटिव मार्किंग है, नेगेटिव मार्किंग है. रॉन्ग आंसर के लिए मार्क्स डिडक्ट होंगे, रॉन्ग आंसर के लिए. अब द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, कैंडिडेट्स विल रिसीव -0.25 नेगेटिव पॉइंट marks for each unattempted question. I want to read it again. For each unattempted question के लिए भी marks deduct होंगे. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर 1 2 3 1 का आंसर मैंने दे दिया, 2 का मैंने छोड़ दिया, 3 का मैंने रॉन्ग आंसर दिया. ठीक है ना। जो मैंने नहीं अटेम्प्ट किया, जो मैंने अनअटेम्प्टेड छोड़ दिया, उसके भी 0.25 मार्क्स कट होंगे। तो मैंने अनअटेम्प्टेड छोड़ दिया, उसके भी 0.25 मार्क्स डिडक्ट होंगे, और जो रॉन्ग है उसके भी 0.25 मार्क्स डिडक्ट होंगे। इसका मतलब ये है कि मुझे सारे क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करने चाहिए। इसका मतलब क्या है कि अगर मैं रॉन्ग अटेम्प्ट करती हूँ, मान लीजिए ये थर्ड जो क्वेश्चन है इसका मुझे आंसर नहीं आता, मैं गेस मार देती हूँ कि इसका आंसर सी है, ठीक है ना। गेस मारा, क्या पता ठीक हो जाए, अगर ठीक हुआ तो 1 मार्क मिल जाएंगे। बट अगर मैं इसको अनअटेम्प्टेड छोड़ देती हूँ मतलब अगर रॉन्ग करती हूँ तो भी मेरे मार्क्स कटते हैं, बट उसमें चांसेस है, प्रोबेबिलिटी है कि करेक्ट हो सकता है। बट अगर मैं अनअटेम्प्टेड छोड़ देती हूँ तो बस वो तो मार्क्स कटेंगे ही। तो हमारा, इनका कहने का मतलब है कि तुम पूरे के पूरे 75 क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट कर आओ, पूरे के पूरे 75 क्वेश्चंस जो पार्ट ए में है वो अटेम्प्ट करो। क्योंकि नेगेटिव मार्किंग का हमारा फायदा कब होता है कि हमें देखकर छोड़ने क्वेश्चंस, अगर हम अनअटेम्प्टेड छोड़ रहे हैं तो मार्क्स नहीं कटते नॉर्मली क्लैट के अंदर या दूसरे एग्जाम से, बट यहाँ पे अगर हम अनअटेम्प्टेड छोड़ रहे हैं तो हमारे मार्क्स कट होंगे। तो इसलिए हमें सारा पेपर अटेम्प्ट कर आना है। समझ में आ गया? अगर इसमें कोई डाउट है तो कमेंट कर दीजिए, आई विल ट्राई टू डू अ वीडियो, विल सॉल्व अ क्वेश्चन पेपर टुगेदर सो दैट यू गेट अ होल्ड ऑफ इट, ठीक है ना। हम देखते हैं कि सैंपल क्वेश्चंस कैसे हैं, ठीक है ना। ये सैंपल क्वेश्चंस हैं आपके पार्ट ए के, ठीक है ना। तो ये जो हमारा था ये आई थिंक हाँ एज उसके ऊपर है कि लीगल मिनिमम एज जो रेज कर दी है मैरिज फॉर वुमेन जो 21 कर दी है, उससे रिलेटेड पूरा पैसेज था, ठीक है ना। अब इसके अंदर पहले हम इंस्ट्रक्शंस देख लेते हैं। ईच सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इन दिस सेक्शन इज बेस्ड ऑन अ सिंगल पैसेज, प्लीज आंसर ईच क्वेश्चन रिलाइंग ऑन व्हाट इज स्टेटेड और इम्प्लाइड इन द कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग पैसेज। मतलब हमें जो पैसेज में मेंशन किया हुआ है उसके बेसिस पे आंसर करना है। इफ मोर देन वन ऑप्शन प्रोवाइड्स अ पार्शियल आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन, चूज द ऑप्शन दैट मोस्ट एक्यूरेटली एंड कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली आंसर्स द क्वेश्चन, ठीक है ना। जो आपको सबसे एक्यूरेट लगती है उसको चूज करना है ऑप्शन को, ठीक है ना। Some questions may require a knowledge of information that is not supplied in the passage. अब इन्होंने जो मतलब दो टाइप के क्वेश्चन, 2 टाइप्स ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको मिलेंगे जिनके अंदर तो आपको अपनी नॉलेज अप्लाई करनी है, ठीक है ना। जो नॉलेज वाले अप्लाई करने वाले क्वेश्चंस हैं वो मोस्टली आपको करंट अफेयर्स से मिलेंगे, ठीक है ना। करंट अफेयर्स के क्वेश्चन मिलेंगे या कुछ किसी का मीनिंग पूछा हुआ है। तो अगर मीनिंग भी पूछा हुआ है ना तो आपको ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ पैसेज ही आंसर करना है, तो वो भी इधर ही चले जाएंगे। मतलब दूसरे टाइप का क्वेश्चन है जो पैसेज बेस्ड है, जो पैसेज बेस्ड है। तो मतलब पैसेज को दिमाग में रखते हुए, मध्य नजर रखते हुए आंसर करना है। यू हैव टू आंसर कीपिंग इन माइंड द पैसेज। ट्रू, right? That is what they are saying. So the passage was like this, okay? सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं कि what is the first question that they have asked from the passage. Which of the following most accurately describes who a demographer is? Demographer कौन होता है उसका पूछा है, तो हम ये कैटेगराइज करेंगे कि vocabulary का क्वेश्चन है, राइट? वेरी गुड, ठीक है। Demographer आंसर सी है इसका, someone who conducts statistical studies of structural changes in the human population, ठीक है। अब मतलब हम कह सकते हैं कि वोकैब का क्वेश्चन है, वोकैब का भी हम कह सकते हैं रीडिंग कॉम्प्रीहेंशन की कैटेगरी में जाता है, इंग्लिश रीडिंग कॉम्प्रीहेंशन की कैटेगरी में हम इस क्वेश्चन को प्लेस करेंगे। एंड सबसे पहले हम बात करेंगे मिस्टेक टू अवॉइड। मिस्टेक प्लीज, हमारे पास इतना टाइम नहीं है कि हम नॉर्मन लुइस की, यही उसके स्पेलिंग है, ये रही पड़ी, मेरे पास भी है ये बुक, नॉर्मन लुइस की वर्ड पावर मेड इजी, वर्ड पावर मेड इजी की बुक हम नहीं जा सकते, रेड से क्रॉस कर रही हूँ, नहीं जा सकते इस बुक के लिए क्योंकि हमारे पास इतना टाइम नहीं है। वी हैव रियली लेस टाइम, जनवरी फरवरी मार्च अप्रैल, 3.5 मंथ्स, मतलब जब मैं बात कर रही हूँ 3.5 मंथ्स ऑलमोस्ट हमारे पास हैं, तो उसके अंदर हम ये बुक नहीं पढ़ सकते बिकॉज वी हैव लॉट्स टू डू फॉर दिस एग्जाम। तो हमें क्या करना है, व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, व्हाट टू डू, राइट? न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना है, वी हैव टू रीड द न्यूज़पेपर, वी हैव टू रीड द न्यूज़पेपर। And in the newspaper when you come across a word of which you don't know the meaning, अपने साथ डिक्शनरी रखो और उसमें से मीनिंग देखो, उस वर्ड को नोट करो एक नोटबुक में और पहले तो गेस करो कि क्या मीनिंग होगा। रीड, you know, read the lines, one line before the word, one line after the line in which the word is, 2 to 3 lines so that you can guess. Now guess what is the meaning and then check out the meaning, and you can do this activity after reading the newspaper and make a list of like 6 to 7 to 8 words, 7 to 8 words every day अगर आप कर रहे हो, this is going to help you a lot. So you have to cover the vocabulary from the newspaper. Reading normal Lewis is of no help, I'm telling you. So please, newspaper से vocabulary you have to cover. I have done a video how you can prepare for vocabulary for CLAT. Same funda is going to get applied for NLSAT also. I'll leave the link of that video in the description box, or you can do vocabulary law Giri and you'll find that video on YouTube itself. So newspaper, from newspaper you have to cover your vocabulary, and Norman Lewis is not the book. So reading comprehension, that we have to cover. So we have to learn how to solve different types of reading comprehension questions. We'll talk about that in a while, but this is something that I wanted to tell you. Right now, the next question from the same passage is talks about that which of the following, if true, would explain why, as the author says, those marrying at the age of 21 and later are healthier, better nourished, better educated, and have better career opportunities than those experiencing child marriage. Now you can put this also. You can put it in any category, RC or critical reasoning, any. I think RC, more so RC, right? Because that kind of a reading comprehension question, very easy to solve. You could have solved it by way of elimination. You should solve, after watching this video, go ahead and try to solve such type of questions like this very sample paper. Elimination, the rule of elimination, if you would have applied, you could have easily crossed out the question, the answers on the basis of the passage, and could have arrived on the correct answer, right? So reading, we have to learn how to solve different type of RC questions, right? This we have noted. I'm going to tell you how you have to do that in a while, but let's go through the questions and then I'm going to tell you the entire strategy. Okay, the next question, the sentence enclosed within one in the last paragraph of the passage above has one or more grammatical errors. Which of the following versions of the sentence would be grammatically correct? Grammar. So we need to study, that means we need to cover our basic tenses, subject verb agreement, parts of speech. This is basic grammar. We need to cover our basic grammar. That's what they are telling us. The next question from the same passage, who was appointed as the head of the task force appointed to examine matters pertaining to age of motherhood, imperatives of lowering maternal mortality ratio, improvement of nutritional levels and related issues? Basically current affairs का question है. It is a current affairs based question based on legal news. They are saying that legal knowledge is not required, but that means they have hinted towards that your legal current affairs are of great importance. That is what they are telling us. The next question is, assume that the central government passes a new law in December 2020 called the Recognition of Reproduction Rights. ठीक है, अब इसके अंदर section 2 दिया हुआ है, section 3 दिया हुआ है. ठीक है, बहुत ही interesting sections हैं. Please try to solve them, and अगर आप sections को अच्छे से पढ़ोगे तो you will be able to solve. So what is this? This is legal reasoning from the same passage. Legal reasoning, ठीक है ना, लीगल रीजनिंग. ये ऐसे लीगल रीजनिंग दी हुई है कि आपको सेक्शंस बताए हुए हैं और फिर क्वेश्चंस पूछे हुए हैं. लीगल रीजनिंग, तो वही हमें बेसिक लॉस जो मैंने आपको बताया वो वैसे ही पढ़ने, बेसिक लॉस पढ़ने, ठीक है. Again, a current affairs question. Which United Nations Convention ratified by India includes the requirement that women and men should have equal rights to enter into marriage? Now, one thing that you need to notice is background research. A lot of people ask me that why are you asking us to read a magazine, right? Because my kids, if you are reading the newspaper might not give you a detailed background research. वो एक इतनी अच्छी detailed background research conduct करके ना दें, इसलिए हमें magazine पे depend करना पड़ता है, और खुद से हम वो research कर पाएं वो बहुत difficult है. अगर कर सकते हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है background research, नहीं कर सकते तभी हमें magazine पे depend होना पड़ता है. तो इसका मतलब reading one current affairs magazine is very important. Reading one current affairs magazine is very important. Next thing, the government of which among the following states recalled a law in 2021? Again, a current affairs based question. लीगल करंट अफेयर्स, लीगल न्यूज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस, लीगल करंट अफेयर्स. तो इसका मतलब ये हमें कह रहे हैं कि लीगल करंट अफेयर्स हमारे लिए ज़रूरी हैं. तो लॉ गिरी की जो वीडियोस हैं वो बहुत ज़रूरी हैं, और मैं जनवरी टू अप्रैल अब पक्का से आपको ख़त्म करके दूंगी सो दैट आप प्रिपेयर कर पाओ. हाउ टू प्रिपेयर फॉर पार्ट ए. Now, how to prepare for part A of the paper, that is what we are going to discuss. Please focus, complete focus on the screens. English. The subject 1 is English. Topic number 1 is reading comprehension. Topic number 1 is reading comprehension. comprehension, 25 marks, right? Reading comprehension, you need to understand how to solve different types of questions that deal with regard to reading comprehension, right? Now number one, I have done a video, have a look at that. You will understand what I'm trying to tell you. Number two, you can buy a book. You can go for Arun Sharma. The link of the book is going to be in the description box. If you don't want to buy Arun Sharma, you can study from the PDF that I have provided on my website www.loggery.com. The link is going to be in the description box. In case I don't provide the link, please comment down below. I will post the link, right? So I'll provide the PDF, the book, video, right? This is or any one of these video dekh lena. Okay, the next thing is practicing solving RCs. Now you need to practice. Obviously here you will be understanding, you will be understanding the theory. Here you will practice so that you learn how to apply theory, right? So this is equally important. Practicing is equally important. Clear? And try to make sure you have a good speed. Good speed is also important, right? Because towards the end you will see that when the exam is coming closer, this is what is very important. Correct answers plus, that is accuracy, plus speed is what is very important, right? Now the next topic too is your grammar. Grammar is very important again. Subject verb agreement, tenses, prepositions, models, your basic grammar. Parts of speech also please cover. Parts of speech, right? Basic grammar you need to cover. Basic grammar is very important. You can go for SP Bakshi, Objective English by RS Agarwal. You need to practice spotting errors and close test, right? Practice spotting errors and close test, right? Clear hai? Now we are clear on the syllabus of English. Earlier I was telling you grammar you need to do, keep it as a second run option, no, keep it as a first run option, and reading comprehension also. Critical reasoning. Now critical reasoning, the topics that are important: assumptions, arguments, inference, conclusion. These are really important. Though in the paper, in the sample paper, you won't find that it is that important, but it is there. It is easier, so that is why we are able to solve the questions. We can expect a little or a higher degree of exam in terms of difficulty, right? Now you can go for Billy's book, you can go for GMAT book, GRE, you will find the links in the description box, or you can study from the PDF that I have provided on www.loggery.com, right? Any you want to do, any one thing that you want to go for. If you want a printed edition, you can go for this. Okay, clarity of concept is what we are looking at, and practice. Next we have current affairs. Now current affairs, you're going to read the Hindu important articles, plus you need to read your extra articles also. Like you need to create one thing, that whatever you feel is an important national or international issue, you need to read about it, because your current affairs is not only important for part A, it is also equally important for part B, right? So collecting data is very important. You not only have to learn, but you have to also collect data and learn, because you have to solve MCQs, as well as you also have to solve your subjective. You have to also write an essay, right? So very important. In case you get selected, interview is also going to be your current affairs based, right? Reading the Hindu, important articles, editorials, very important. Don't miss out. Even if I'm not posting on, so if you don't know, I post important articles on Instagram, but for you have to read the editorials for sure if you are preparing for NLSAT, even if I'm not posting the editorials, right? Plus editorials, right? Very important. This is important. And you need to read the editorials not only of the Hindu but also the Indian Express. This is for part B. Basically we're going to discuss it in the part B part like in a while. Reading IS Vision from January 2021 till April 2022, not 2021. This is again very important, right? Very important. You cannot miss out on this. Now legal current affairs are going to be really important. That is what your sample paper is saying. Sample paper, you'll see that the current affairs were legal current affairs based. So you have to read the Hindu, IS Vision magazine, and you have to also watch Loggery's current affairs videos. I'll leave the link in the description box, right? Link is going to be in the description box. And for current affairs, your important articles are going to be posted at I am Loggery on Instagram. Please follow me, right? So this is what is your current affairs. And for current affairs, please make notes in the magazine itself, revise them again and again. This is what is important. Next is legal aptitude or reasoning. So we have seen that reasoning part is going to be there. They're saying no prior knowledge of law is required. No prior knowledge of law is required. That is what they are telling us. Should we believe them? No, we should not believe them, because the prior knowledge of law, the basic understanding of basic laws is going to help us in comprehending the law. So reading the law, the basic law is important. We are going to do that. Topics to be covered, वही torts, contracts in criminal law, Indian constitution का मेरा अपना course भी है. You can enroll for that. It will help you in good understanding. That is what you have to do, and you have to practice, right? लीगल रीजनिंग का प्रैक्टिस करना है अच्छे से. प्रैक्टिस कहाँ से? एलेट questions, previous year questions of ALET and CLAT. ALET and CLAT. Very important. You have to practice legal reasoning questions from here. Now, from where you have to cover your legal aptitude, you can go for AP Bharadwaj, you can go for Willy. Any one book is important. Universal or singles is not going to work here, right? AP Bharadwaj or Willy mein se you have to buy one book, and you have to solve previous year question papers. Like legal reasoning questions. You can also solve reading comprehension from CLAT and ALET question papers. Going to really help you. A good level they're going to give you, right? One more thing if you can do is, if you come across any section in the newspaper, find out the bare provision and try to comprehend that provision. Now in my videos, in the legal current affairs videos that I do, I try to bring on those bare provisions, and we interpret them together. So this is where this is going to come to your help, right? So bare provision, you need to understand how to how to interpret bare provision. Now I'm not going to say read bare acts or that kind of stuff. Whenever you in the newspaper you come across, okay, this section, what is the section? Now Google the section and the statute it belongs to and read it. Try to interpret it and then find the meaning of it. If you cannot do that, on Loggery's legal current affair videos we tend to do that, and I'll try to do it a little more for you guys. So this is what is really really important. Cannot miss out on this. Talking about logical reasoning. So before I talk about logical reasoning, I need to make sure that we go through the syllabus again. For part A, in critical reasoning, it says logical reasoning. Now critical reasoning, we know it is assumptions, arguments, all those type of questions, right? Conclusion, inference, this is what is critical reasoning. Now logical reasoning is puzzle type. If they're if they're mentioning it specifically, matlab alag se they have mentioned, then obviously this is something. So a question mark here. Legal aptitude, we know. So what does this mean? This means that they're hinting towards puzzle type of questions. In the sample paper, no puzzle type of question is there. There's no blood relations, coding, decoding, arrangements, nothing of that sort is there. But what we need to do, since you are the first time exam givers, you're taking the exam for the first time, you need to make sure that you don't take any risk. So what I'm going to recommend is that from MK Pandey, solving problems chapter, plus even from RS Agarwal, verbal and non-verbal reasoning, you need to just give 2 to 3 days to this book, because we don't have enough time, to be really frank. We have so much to prepare for when it comes to this exam. You have your current affairs, you have quite a bit, because you have to work on your essays also, right? So just 2 to 3 days to from RS Agarwal, from MK Pandey, because MK Pandey you're going to get to know how to solve part. And if by chance you have already done logical reasoning, because many of you were preparing for Delhi University already, and if you're done with logical reasoning, you just need to run through the basics, so that if in case you have questions, you can attempt them. Because again, because we have to attempt the entire paper, that we are clear on, because unattempted question minus 0.25, negative marking is also there, leaving the question minus 0.25. If you attempt it and get it right, you have chances to get 1. If you leave it unattempted, it's 0.25 anyways, right? So this is what I wanted to tell you. So you're going to do the basic logical reasoning part. Now part B, we are going to quickly go through the syllabus. I know this is repetition, but important, right? The syllabus for the subjective test is as follows. So this is writing part. Can we call it the writing part, right? Now legal reasoning, legal aptitude is of 50 marks. Please note it down. Legal aptitude / reasoning. Legal aptitude / reasoning is of how many marks? 50 marks, right? Number one. Number two, they're saying legal aptitude will consist of problem based questions to which short answers will be sought. Short answers, problem based questions होंगे, ठीक है ना, and to which short answers are going to be sought, right? Good. Now, prior knowledge of law is not expected. Now, they're saying third point is prior knowledge of law is not expected, which they are saying. But when we go through the sample questions for this part, I'm going to show you why prior knowledge of law is going to help you. They're saying not expected, but it is going to help you. Now, they're saying not expected because they don't want you to show that knowledge, right? This section will have 10 questions of 5 marks each. 10 questions of 5 marks each. You need to note down, right? हो गया इतना. Moving on to the next section of this part, current affairs 15 marks. तो हमारे जो current affairs हैं वो कितने marks के हैं? They are of 15 marks. Right. Now, current affairs shall consist of one essay of not more than 500 words. You need to write down 500 words ka one essay. Students shall be required to answer one of the three options. You're going to be given three options and you have to choose any one, right? And write an essay of 500 words, right? Applicants will be tested on their knowledge of the issue. Now, this is very important. Please make notes of the same. They're going to test you on the knowledge of the issue, the ability to make cogent written arguments, and write a well-structured essay. Knowledge. How much do you know about the issue? Ability to make arguments. Are you able to give arguments for what you are saying? If you're saying, okay, this is what I think, you need to give reasons for that in support, or if you're saying you're going against that, you need to give reasons, well structured reasons, and you need to also write a well structured essay. Knowledge of the law is not expected. Here also they are saying knowledge of the law is not expected. That means they are not saying write down the section number, write down the judgments or anything of that sort. No, they are just testing your current affairs based knowledge, right? Now, NLSAT 2022 Part B format and instructions. Now, some more information about that. Part B of NLSAT 2022 will comprise number one, 10 legal aptitude or reasoning problem based questions with short answers. We know that. One current affairs essay of no more than 500 words. We know this, right? Repetition. Candidates must answer all the legal aptitude or reasoning questions within 150 words. Now, this is something new. 150 words के अंदर हमको वो legal reasoning वाला question जो है वो answer करना है. Right. Now, again, they're saying no prior knowledge of law is expected. Each question in the legal aptitude reasoning section of Part B carries 5 marks. This also we know that 10 questions of 5 marks each is equal to 50 marks. Right. The current affairs section of Part B will provide at least 3 essay topics. Candidates must write a 500-word essay on one topic, which will carry 15 marks. This also we know. Now, let's move on to the sample questions. Right now, let's read the general instructions. Respond to each of the questions in this section in 150 words or less. Your responses must be based on the information supplied in the question. Now, this is your legal aptitude questions, legal aptitude or reasoning questions. Right now, what are they saying? Please make sure that we read the instructions very nicely. They are saying 150 words. We know that, but still we'll write it again. 150 words or less. Your responses must be based on the information supplied. Information supplied. When they say so, what they mean to say is that, look, they might be saying something else, the law might be something else, but you have to keep in mind what law they have supplied to us, what they are saying, right? So that is what no prior knowledge of law is expected. Responses will be evaluated on the strength of reasoning. That is strength of reasoning. कितना reason डाल पा रहे हो उसमें, जो आप कह रहे हो. अगर आप कह रहे हो कि no, इनको yes no से कोई मतलब नहीं है. So there is no correct answer to any of the questions that they are going to put across. What they are testing is your reasoning ability. If you say yes, what is the reason? If you say no, what is the reason? If you're saying okay this and this, what is the reason? So giving a reason is very important. Giving them a reason is very important, right? So strength of the reason, cogency of arguments, okay? Again, how many support, and if you in support of the conclusion that you are arriving at, how many reasons you are able to give. right, and ability to set out a clear conclusion supported by reasons and arguments. ठीक है ना, conclusion clear वही उसके extension में. Now please note down all of this is important. Now this sample question, I would not read it for you. I would say that please visit my website www.loggery.com, where you will find the sample paper. Solve the sample paper without seeing the answers. It is very important. Now here they have talked about a situation wherein a person had gone for a holiday in a resort on an island, I don't know, in some place, and then the COVID-19 was there. There were government restrictions, couldn't travel back to his place, and while he was staying at that place, he was COVID positive. Early he was negative, but while he stayed there, he was positive. Now they're saying that who is responsible? The authorities are saying that the people who were not wearing the mask are responsible. So go and sue them, not us, right? So what is the scenario? Now you see, you need to again, now for these type of questions, what you need to do, now they have talked about the response guidelines. Each question is designed to allow for candidates to take alternative positions. So that is why I was saying there is no yes or no. You cannot say just yes and no. You need to come up with reasons. You need to come up with reasons. Rather than trying to get to a right answer, candidates must identify key facts. Then you need to identify key facts and norms, right? Number two is argue for their conclusion, right? Whatever conclusion you are arriving at, you need to argue for that. That's what lawyers do. That's what lawyers do, right? You have to find facts, you have to argue for what you are saying. Now if you are saying yes, you can sue the authorities, or yes, you can sue the authorities and as well as the people who are not wearing the mask. Why do you think so? So you have to cull out things from the, you have to cull out the facts from the question that is given, from the problem that is given, and then you have to argue for the conclusion, right? How to prepare for legal writing part. Now number one thing that I want to say is we are already covering the basic laws, right? In the part one, we are covering the basic law, our contracts, torts, all of that. We are already studying that. So this is a tick, right? Reading some important judgments, how judges arrive to a point. Now you can read any random judgments, right? So that you see that how they are writing, no previous knowledge of law is required, but how do they arrive to a conclusion? You can pick up short judgments, don't go for the longer ones. So pick up any judgment. I'll try to create a list, like a 20-30 thing that you read, so that you get to know that, okay, how do you arrive at a conclusion? No doubt you have just 150 words, the judges go like way beyond that, but that is one thing that you can do. And another thing is practice writing answers on legal principle type of questions. Now we see that the situation is given. Now as you assume that there is no law given and there are no options, then what answer you would be giving? So that is also another practice that you can do for your. Now coming to the essay part. Write an essay on a single topic in 500 words or less. The criteria for evaluation are provided at the end of this section. Okay, fine. So what were the topics that they have given? Has India done enough to combat climate change? What is the most important step that India should take in the next 5 years? 15 marks. Or they told us that 3 options are going to be there. Out of that, we have to choose any one. We have to choose any one, right? Now the next thing is, should artificial intelligence enabled machines and systems take decisions that affect human lives, right? That is next. Now should the state permit large scale protests even when they affect the rights of non-protesters? Now again, one thing I want to say, the first topic, that is climate change, which is very important, most discussed. If we see COP26 took place, it was a very big thing that happened. Then again, then there was, before that, Diwali happened, there was pollution. Then again there were, like, there were a lot of articles and news pieces that dealt with, or there were a lot of situations and circumstances wherein climate change was questioned, right? So they are saying that you have to show your knowledge. Now you should not only talk about one thing, you need to talk about multiple issues. Thereby, if you have to prepare for the article, number one thing that you need to do is that you need to, that is why I'm saying reading newspaper, that is important for sure, and reading the editorials for sure. Even if I'm not posting it to be important, you as an NLSAT candidate has to read the editorials and articles that you think are really important, talking about a issue. Number one. Number two, it is very important that you cover the backlog, because you need to show your show your knowledge ki yes, about one topic I know everything about, at least for 1 year what has happened. And if you are reading the backlog from IS Vision, then what they are doing, IS Vision is doing the background research for you. Because why is that magazine being written? Because people from IS are reading this, people who are preparing for IS, they will give you the background which is going to help you with the essays. So you have to cover not only about climate change. Now, I don't think that they'll be putting climate change now because they've told us, but you never know. Maybe they see that how serious you are. But about various topics, it can be different issues between India and China. It can be various or any other issue between Ukraine and Russia. How is US? What is USA doing? It can be any topic that can be there based on current affairs. Right. The next thing is artificial intelligence. And thereafter we have large scale protests. Large scale protests take us to farmers protest, they take us to the CAA protests, they take us to the issues that were raised when the farmers protest was on, the cases that went up. There were people who went up to the Supreme Court saying that blocking the road is not, they do not have the right to block the roads. Right. What did the Supreme Court say? They're saying that knowledge of law is not expected, but awareness you have to. So in a way you need to know about the legal current affairs issues also. Now when I say that knowledge of law is not expected, they're not expecting you to write down the names of the sections, sorry, the number, this important section numbers, or about naming the judgment that a person is expected when you are writing an essay, if it's a law based essay, right? That is what they mean. So you need to know about the important issues, and the best way to do is reading newspaper and IS Vision. Now it is saying, note, candidates current affairs essays will be evaluated on, किस चीज के basis पे evaluate किए जाएंगे current affairs के जो essays हैं, the breadth of knowledge displayed. राइट अगर कोई एक इशू है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे हम क्लाइमेट चेंज था, तो क्लाइमेट चेंज से रिलेटेड क्या कुछ हो रहा है अराउंड द वर्ल्ड एंड इन इंडिया, यू नीड टू बी अवेयर अबाउट दैट एंड यू नीड टू राइट अबाउट दैट. You need to write about that. That is what they are expecting of you. And the ability to integrate diverse strands of the contemporary, matlab present public debate. Now what they are asking us to do now, that we need to for knowing that what is the debate all about, the best places editorials. So that is why you don't only have to read the Hindu editorials. For editorials, you also have to read the Indian Express editorials. You also have to read the Indian Express editorials, very important, because you need to know about the diverse views. And again, IS Vision is also going to help you here, right? The willingness to engage with different points of view and display independent judgment. Different point of view. Now here I'll give you an example. I don't know, you like Modi or you don't like Modi, whatever. Now if you don't like Modi, you will be like, okay fine, this is my point of view. Now here you need to be that middle party, leaving the like and dislike aside. You need to engage with different point of view. It can be anything. For example, it can be, do you think repealing of farm laws was right or it was wrong? Now there are people who are saying it was wrong, there are people who are saying it was right. Now what is your opinion with regard to that? You need to also have, you need to engage with different points of view and display independent judgment. You need to give your own opinion here. Ability to create well supported arguments leading to clear conclusions. मतलब आपको हर चीज, if you're saying something, that is fine, you're giving the facts, but thereafter you need to have your own opinion, and not only your opinion, it needs to be supported by arguments कि मैं अगर ऐसा सोचता हूँ, if I think like this, then why do I think like this? The demonstration of creative response to difficult and unresolved problems. ये एक तरफ से hint भी दे रहा है हमें. क्या hint दे रहा है ये? हमें hint दे रहा है. क्या hint दे रहा है ये? हमें hint दे रहा है कि most probably the chances are there कि जो heated arguments होते हैं जिन topics के ऊपर, वो एक question के form में आएंगे on the topics that are unresolved. So there are various issues. So the newspaper is your source. Like the IS people, they do read the newspaper. It's because they also have to somewhat come with such type of essays, right? How to prepare for essay writing. Reading IS Vision magazine from January 2021 till April 2022. You need to read it. Okay, even afterwards, if you're expecting that you'll get a call for the interview. Reading the Hindu every day and reading the editorials of both the Hindu as well as the Indian Express. Yes, you have to do that. Practice writing essays and reading the essays written for IS exams. So there are various websites wherein people submit their essays. So try to write an essay on that and check out what other people are writing. Though IS people do tend to make a lot of diagrams. You don't need to create diagrams because they are not asking us to do that. We need to see, are they engaging in various arguments, what are the reasons that they're giving. So that is what you need to. So guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you found this video helpful, you need to like this video, you need to subscribe to the channel, and you need to comment down below and tell me that which are the videos that you want me to do. Right, I'm working on some of them, but still I want to know what are the problems that you're facing so that we can work together on them. So yeah guys, that's it. Loggery signing off. I'll see you super soon in my next video, and yeah, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification on. Bye and take care.